Let me sober up. Let me face things over and over again.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to my new video in which I will tell you about 5 main eventers who were hated by fans. By the way, I have not included people like Roman Reigns and John Cena because aren't they too common? I guess. Yeah. Anyways, let's get started. First, Shawn Michaels. Shawn is one of the most decorated professionals and he's won numerous championships. If we look at his in-ring credentials and mic skills, you'd probably think Michaels was loved by wrestling fans, right? Wrong. In fact, he only rose to prominence in the 21st century. Though no one can actually dispute that he was a high-profile competitor, he was actually hated by pretty much everybody, both the other professionals and a large portion of male fans. Many wrestlers have described him as being egoistical, maniac, and with a major attitude problem, and this spilled out onto the public's eye. Fans and those who know a bit about wrestling would recall that in 1996, as a champion, he didn't draw fans to the major events. Many people actually shunned him because of that. This period coincided with his drug problems, and even Michaels has acknowledged that he was a jerk, and during that time, and has called himself an A star whole word, which I can't say. I'm sorry. Second, Triple H. After Shawn Michaels, it naturally makes sense to have his best friend and former tag partner in the list. Triple H is a legend of industry, and you can't imagine WWE without Triple H. Since you guys are watching this video, I can assume that you know about wrestling, because if you don't, what are you doing here? Just like the video, subscribe my channel, watch the video 10-15 times and go. Please go. Just do these things. Anyways, so yeah, since you know about wrestling, you should be aware of the immense power Triple H has been wielding in the company for decades. This is what has made Triple H an unpopular guy. The bullying ways of the clique ran things backstage during 1990s. Triple H, Nash and Michaels in particular held a lot of clout and could pretty much run riot and do as they pleased without others stepping on their shoes. Triple H was like this, a backstage bully, away from the clique, and many fans came to know of his bullying tactics, and some despised him because of this. Because of influence he held over others, it's unsurprising that Triple H got his ways a lot of time, and because of this, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Well, now how has he won the fans over? He has personality perfectly suited to WWE, owns a share of WWE's equity, and has tons of championships. Enough said. Third, Randy Orton. Although Randy has been around for forever, it hasn't always been a smooth sailing for him. Sometimes professional and personal issues can't be separated, and personal problems spill over into a person's professional life. That's what happened to Randy. The fans came to know about his past problems, such as dishonorable discharge from the US Marines, and started forming opinions of him in their head. This wasn't helped by his actions in the company. That is, he's been suspended numerous times and has been considered an all-around bad guy with a real negative attitude. He has also berated fellow wrestlers, which hasn't helped fans seeing him in new light. Despite these issues, Orton's still with WWE and is still growing strong. He is beginning to win people over because he now seems content, more content than he's ever been before to give other wrestlers a chance. This was shown by the beating he took at the hands of Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Fourth, JBL. The entire rich man arrogant persona that JBL portrayed did nothing to endear him to the fans. Even though he was actually playing a gimmick, he himself said that it was actually a take on his real life persona of a stock market investor. And his attitude really pissed people off, including the fans and the fellow wrestlers. Many people think that he was stroked by the company and felt that WWE gave him preferential treatment and he got much more opportunities than other people who were much more talented than him. JBL hasn't changed a whole lot over the years, but people are now beginning to take a sign to that touch of arrogance in his personality, meaning he's gained a heap of popularity as a commentator. Initially, people thought he didn't deserve the chances that came his way, but he grew up to be a great heel on SmackDown, in a way justifying his purse. Fifth, The Rock. You think of Dwayne Johnson, and now you'd think it is impossible that once upon a time he was actually disliked. Actually, dislike would be a small word. He was, in fact, hated by the wrestling fans. If you go back to the mid 90s, you'll remember a young and clean 20-year-old Rocky Maivia who thought nothing of badmouthing opponents and the fans. His all-round persona was nowhere near close to resembling the Rock we all love and know today. Again, it might sound ludicrous to say, looking at all, but the Rock has achieved today. But when he burst onto the scene in 1996, people didn't give him any chance and he was ridiculed for getting his place only because of his family connections. But over the years, people gradually began to appreciate him. He had the talk and the charisma, and people loved his catchphrases. He is now one of the biggest superstars in the history, ruling roost into industry. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Please like, subscribe and share because sharing is caring.